Naturally, as soon as I go to hit the record button is when Stewie comes running up here and wants attention. So if you hear some meows in the background, there's that. That is 478,000 ping, by the way. That's pretty good. But this is going to be a bit of a different style of video compared to what I normally make. And this is the gameplay in this one is basically an afterthought. That's not really what I want to talk about. And what I do want to kind of talk about here is something that I originally was going to put into the community post on my channel, but then I realized, like, who the fuck actually looks at that, let alone reads it. Uh, so this is what we're doing. So basically, what I have been feeling lately is that, well, not even feeling, this is just on what I believe is objectively true, is that a lot of the videos that I've been putting out in the recent few months has been subpar at best. And I kind of, like, I am frustrated with myself for even allowing myself to put out that kind of subpar content where it's just like one-sided stomps or like uh nothing really interesting happens, but I'm like, it's good enough. And I am not happy when I put that kind of trash out into out onto the channel, because when I originally started doing YouTube and my early videos have largely been actually trying to put as much explanation, thought, uh, and care into the videos that I make to help my viewers understand what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, my thought processes, why I'm doing what I'm doing, how certain situations will play out because of certain factors, all of these types of things. Like, I originally made my channel, and my early videos were made to be as informative as possible, and I still want to do that, but in recent months, I've not really been doing that, and I've had to take breaks from YouTube before to kind of take literal sanity breaks, because playing this game is frustrating. This is not unique to World of Warships. Online games in general, especially free to play ones, are inevitably going to be melting pots of all different play styles and skill levels. Uh, and I say this all the time, that this player base is one of the most retarded I have ever seen, and I still stand by that. Like, I'm not gonna go into bitching about how bad the player base is. That's a rant for another time. But what I'm really kind of getting at here is that making those types of videos is something that can't really be forced. Uh, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes you're going to get one-sided stomps. Sometimes you're going to get games where you spawn on the side where nothing happens, or sometimes you get into a game where the enemy team just kind of donates to you, and there's not really anything to explain because the enemy just presses W at you and kills themselves on purpose. Uh, those types of games do happen, but at the same time, sometimes I do get really nice games that have a lot of informative value in them. But the thing about that, like I just said previously, is that you cannot force those types of games to happen. They just kind of happen or they don't. And what I believe has been really the primary cause of me feeling incredibly drained and frustrated is that I have been trying to force something that cannot be forced. Uh, I have always tried to stick to a relatively stable upload and recently streaming schedule uh, on Mondays, Wednesdays, or not fucking Wednesdays, on Mondays, Tuesdays, just taking Wednesdays to chill for myself. Uh, upload on Thursdays and then stream on the weekends. Simple stuff. And I do pride myself in my ability to make that consistent upload, but at the same time, that schedule, that rigid schedule that I hold myself to or try to, is what I, having thought about this over the weekend, is what I believe is really kind of being the root cause of a lot of the drain that I've been feeling trying to get videos out. Because I am, like I said, is I'm trying to force something to happen that I can't force to happen. Like I said, I can't force like super close, informative games where they have like a ton of value in them. Sometimes I can't. I just get them. Sometimes I don't. And what I've been trying to do is stick so hard to that rigid schedule that I have been forcing myself to play the game in ways that I don't really want to. Because, like I've said, like a fucking broken record at this point, is I've been forcing myself to try and get this certain type of video, certain type of gameplay that's like, super interesting to watch as much as possible, and that has like a ton of value of learning in them. But I've been continuously beating my head against the wall of randoms and throwing my fucking face into this melting pot of different levels of skill and commitment that I don't even know how to really explain it, but I'm trying to stick so hard to my schedule that I'm prioritizing that schedule over the actual content quality. And I believe this is really where my huge pitfall kind of is because I'm trying to stick so hard to this rigid schedule that I set for myself that when I go to try and record something, I obviously try and get good games, obviously, but when the inevitable weekends happen or just melting pots of skill levels and then you get like one-sided stomps and all of that business, all of the game's bullshit that it can throw at you, when all of that happens, I grow increasingly desperate, I guess, to try and get content or at least something that I am increasingly making my standards lower and lower and lower. And this is, I believe, the cause of trying to force games and force myself to stick to a schedule while forcing something that cannot be forced. And basically what I'm getting at is I've been like, the reason I have been posting so many dog shit videos has been because I've been trying to force myself to meet a schedule, a very rigid, non-flexible schedule. And I'm not saying that I'm going to stop doing YouTube and all of that. I'm going to continue to post, and I'm going to continue to make videos. I'm going to continue streaming and all that. But what I think that... Oh, that Riga just got wrecked. I just saw that white bar there. Rip to that guy. But okay, first of all, I just want to go... If you haven't already figured it out, I am basically talking out of my ass. And, well, I don't think that's the right term for this, but I'm basically I haven't scripted this at all. Like I had my kind of points, and then I'm just like going down a list and not really thinking about transitions or whatever. What I kind of think, what I believe has happened is that I have forced myself to stick to such a schedule that I've grown to prioritize the schedule over the quality. And that is how I've forced myself to put out so much dog shit in the past couple of months. Like you know all these types of videos that I've put out where like, oh, this'll have to do. This is good enough. Third time's the charm. I've been getting frustrated trying to get decent games or get good games that I just continuously lower the standard bar lower and lower just to meet a schedule. And that's why I've been putting out such kind of dog shit. And there's also this notion, this mindset that I have where every single video I put out, I want to like. I mean, obviously, I do post mediocre games. This is literally what I've been talking about for the past while. But I have this idea in my head that I am always expected to do super amazing things. That I'm expected to like be able to solo carry entire teams to victory, and that I'm always going to just be able to gunfight anyone or anything that I want and come out on top. And that is simply not the case. I am a person just like everybody else, and I make bad decisions. I make mistakes. I int just as much as everybody else. Well, not really just as much, but slightly less than everybody else. That's kind of the difference between a really good player and a mediocre one, is that a good player will still int, but it'll just happen far, far less. And there's a whole nother thing that I can go into that I'm not going to, but basically, I am holding myself to an extremely high standard while trying to force myself to get a certain standard of play in something that can't really be forced. And the running theme here is I feel like I'm being forced to upload at certain times. And then I try and meet a certain standard. And then after like an hour, if I haven't gotten that, I'll lower the bar. And then if I still can't get that, I'll lower it even more. And then it's just a perpetual cycle of lowering the bar of standard just to meet a deadline. And I believe that is where my big pitfall is lying, is I get frustrated when I can't force something to happen, if that makes any kind of sense. And you know, there's probably far better ways that I could go about explaining this sort of thing, but like I said, I haven't scripted this or anything. I'm just kind of like talking off the top of my head here. But I think I've hopefully gotten the general point across, is that I don't like feeling forced. So going forward, what I'm going to do is I'm still going to try to stick with my schedule, which is upload on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But the key word there is try. And I'm going to go back to my standards of to the standards that I've used to uphold, where I would only upload games that, even if they aren't the flashiest or like the highest XP or highest damage games, if there's informative value in them, that is what I will prioritize. But if I cannot get such a video on a certain day, like just for example, if Thursday rolls around and I go to try and sit down and get a good game with some learning value in it. If I cannot do that, if I cannot get a video, I'm just going to be like, okay, whatever, I tried. And I'm just going to not upload. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm no longer going to force myself to post just for the hell of it, which is what I really believe has been the root cause of all of the subpar bullshit that I've put out. And you can, like, the videos that I'm talking about, the ones where I'm like, well, this is going to have to do. You can feel the frustration in them because, like, every single fucking, every other word that comes out of my mouth is a swear word and that sort of thing. You can literally feel the frustration through the screen. And the type of subpar bullshit games that I'm talking about. I'm going to do away with those. If I cannot get a video recorded that meets my standards of gameplay, learning, teaching, all of that, if I fail to get a video on a certain day, I'm just going to not upload. I'm not going to force myself to upload a shitty game or a shitty video just for the sake of uploading and meeting a schedule anymore. And there's probably more that there's probably clearer ways that I could have explained this, and better analogies I might have been able to use, or whatever it might be. But hopefully the general point has gotten across, and the bottom line here is that going forward, I am going to, I will keep on, yes, Stewie, I am going to force myself to maintain a certain standard, but if I cannot meet that standard on a certain day for whatever reason, whether it's my own stupidity, everyone else's stupidity, or whatever it might be, I'm just going to not upload that day, and you're just going to have to deal with that, because I am frankly sick of putting out bullshit games for the hell of it, and I want to go back to the old standards of videos that I was really able to explain my thought process, and why I do certain things, how conditions change things, all of these different things. Sometimes I will upload, like, just funny games. Clan battle replays are not going to be going anywhere. I'm not going to be going anywhere. It's just that I'm not going to force myself to stick to a rigid schedule anymore. So, or I'm not, yeah, pretty much. And I'm still going to stream. I'm still going to upload. And like I said, I'm just not going to force myself to upload something for the hell of it. I'm going to raise the standards back to what they used to be. But if I don't have something that meets those standards on any given day, I'm just not going to upload that day. And you're just going to have to deal with that. Because I am frustrated and I am tired of putting out bullshit games for the hell of it. So going forward, that's how we're going to be doing things, and yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about here. Anything you want to say, Stu? Mr. Stewie? No? Okay, so yeah, that's a bit of a different video, but one that I really needed to make. So yeah, there you go. I'll see you on later.